Hi guys, Candy here at My Mobile Homestead. So, one of the things that I've been wanting to show you, because maybe you actually want to show one of your family members or a spouse or a partner, and that is how to wash dishes properly. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm like a professional dishwasher, but I have two things going for me. What I have, the first thing is I have my food handler certificate. I maintain, even though I do not work in the food industry anymore, I maintain my food handler certificate because I continue to learn more about appropriate cleanliness in the kitchen and so on and so forth. The next thing that I have going for me, guys, is I'm lazy. I did a video about that. I'm lazy, okay? So what it is, what that kind of indicates or signifies is that I do not like doing dishes twice. I do not like washing the same dish twice because it wasn't done right the first time. So I like to be super thorough now, the first time. So what I have going here is, right now this one's my lid. Okay, so what I'm doing with my lid is I'm taking, I have two of my scrubbies. I love my scrubbies. I have two. Sometimes I use one or two, but what I do is I grab along the edge, because a lot of people miss that part right in here. There is stuff that gets caught inside this rim right here, and it gets pretty doggone gross. And then every time you use the lid, it just cakes it on. It actually bakes it on, and then it's harder and harder for it to get off. Now, on occasion, I will take the screw out and clean underneath that. I am not going to do that at this time. Another thing is I use all my senses, okay? I use my smell if I need to. I use my sight. To me, this looks clean. And then the biggest sense of all I use is my hands. I use feel. And that is one of the reasons that I do not use gloves when I am washing dishes. I have gloves here. I had to use them when I burnt my hand, and I will use them if I have to, but I just prefer to have the ability to feel the dish, and that is what I'm doing. I am feeling to make sure that it is smooth as glass, because it is what? Glass. I want it to be smooth as glass. So this is perfect. Now the next thing I'm going to do while I'm rinsing is I am going to feel the dish as I'm rinsing to make sure. That's my secondary double check myself. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm listening for this. Squeaky clean. It is squeaky clean. So now I feel comfortable with putting this in the drainer. One of the things that I do when I do dishes to make it a little easier is I put all of the silverware down at the bottom and I let those soak. And I have a lot in there right now because I was sick for a couple days. And I let those soak until I'm done with all the other dishes, and then I do the silverware, and they'll be so easy to clean because there's so many and they're small and they just make my back hurt. I absolutely hate doing the silverware more than anything else. When I'm washing anything, here's an important thing. I wash the inside. I check visually, it looks clean. I feel around, it feels clean. Guys, do not forget to get along the edge because our lips go right there. And even though a lot of you don't notice, get all the other part of the cup too, because a lot of our dishes, we nest inside of another dish. So the outside needs to be clean, so any kind of dirt on one doesn't transfer to another clean dish and then just ruin the whole job. With my silverware, I'm going to show you. I'll show you with a knife. With every single one. Actually, I'll show you with each one. Do I have a spoon in here? I do. Okay. I take one or two, doesn't matter, of my scrubbies. I clean and I do the handle. Okay? This is important. I don't know how many times I've picked up pieces of silverware and it had stuff crusted on the handle because the main part was focused on. We put that part inside of our mouth, but we hold this part. Sometimes we have food on our hands. Sometimes we lay this on the plate and food gets on it. And then we lay it into the drawer, and whatever is stuck to it transfers to the nice clean dishes. Well, that just ruins that whole big job. Sometimes I've had to go through my whole silverware drawer and wash everything all over again. So I have all my lids here. Yes, I have a plethora at the moment because we have, like I said, I have been sick. So I have a few. Let me see. So the biggest thing that I'm using here is my feel. See, I'm going over. I feel something right here. So that's my biggest thing. I'm going to always make sure that I come along this edge. That's my big thing right here. And the handle, guys, don't forget the handle, okay? Because our dirty hand was on that. We could have had grease on our hand, some kind of food transfer, anything. It gets on the handle. So you want to make sure that you get that taken care of. As for, let me see, I'm going to cover this. As for cutting boards, don't soak them in this one I had to learn myself. Don't soak it in the water. It causes the wood to split. So you need to wash those right away. And they don't get to be soaked. Now, if you need to sanitize these, I will do another video on how to properly sanitize. This is something I learned in a big cafeteria for cutting boards and counters. It'll not stain, it'll take the stain away, and it will sanitize your cutting boards. So again, with my cup here, yes, I drink out of jars. It has a double purpose. It sits in my cupboard. I can drink out of it, and then when I need to can, I'm going to can in it. So I always make sure the edge gets good and clean. This is super important. And all around the edge, good, clean. So that's it, guys. Let me see. So for some of you, I told my husband this when he's washing dishes. Actually, my husband, yeah, and my son, but that would be fantasy to think my son was doing dishes. But what I suggested to my husband is to imagine you are sanding a fine piece of furniture, and you can feel exactly where that little ridge is that you need to sand off and make smooth, because you can sand a piece of wood to feel as smooth as glass. So that's an idea that I had suggested to my husband, and I am sharing that suggestion with you. Another one is my lids. See, my lids? A lot of people just like to go over it, and call it done. But guys, stuff gets inside this. So you're going to need to go along and go and go. Now to me, this looks clean. But I'm my worst critic. When I'm rinsing everything off, I'm going to look. Okay, no soap is, I did a good job. Okay, so I feel comfortable putting this in my drainer. So I think that's about it. Like I said, for any kind of soaking, anything that needs any heavy soaking, you're going to put that in the bottom of your sink and let it soak while you're washing everything else. If it's anything else as well, you have other dishes that are particularly gross, go ahead and throw those in there and let them get a good soak. That way, it's going to be easy, because the last thing you want to do is stand at the kitchen sink for a million years trying to scrub something off when you could be soaking it. Another thing that we like to do here is we will rinse it right away, even if I don't get my dishes washed right away. Sometimes, yes guys, I'm not feeling well, I don't have excellent health, and I do not wash my dishes every day sometimes. So what I do is we rinse them off really well, we stick them over here on the counter, and then when we go to wash them, all the stuck-on stuff is gone. We just now need to basically sanitize them. Now, if you want to take it up a notch, something that we did in, and oh, here's another one. When you're doing your knives, you want to make sure you get down here next to the handle. That's an often missed spot. And don't forget the handle, okay? So yeah, that's what I do. And then another thing that they do in the cafeterias, if you want to even take it up a notch and sanitize after you have rinsed, or do the sanitizing and rinsing, you can fill your sink over on this side with water, and you put about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of bleach in there. Not a lot, guys, do not use a lot. It can tarnish some stuff. And then you just dunk it in and you're good, because one thing that it also does is it kills the suds. So you don't have to rinse to get those suds off. It makes the suds go away right away. They dissipate very quickly. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you're able to use it. And please share it. Share it with family members. See, now as I'm rinsing this, I just felt something over here. Something right there. So I'm my own critic. I'm going to come along and make sure that we are good. We are good. Periodically I have my husband resand my cutting boards because I use wood. So, like I said, please share with family members, share in, you know what, I don't like the way this looks. Look at that. Ew, that's coming apart right now. So I'm setting it right here for me to take that lid off and to do a proper thorough cleaning, because, yeah, nothing is going to be eaten on or cooked with in my house that's not thoroughly clean and sanitary. So like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. Love you guys. God bless.